Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile video. Guys, today we are doing something incredible. I've never done such thing before, ever. I am reacting and commenting on somebody else's finest veterans tier list. Or in other words, somebody else's who is trying to basically rate all diamonds, all golds, all silvers, etc. Now, the interesting part is I did a lot of top 10 videos. A lot of people agreed with them. A lot of people disagree with them, which is perfectly normal, but I never, ever had to react to somebody else's top 10 or top 100, it doesn't matter. So it's pretty cool. I want to check. Actually, I'm sorry, my son just wanted to say hi. He just had a cake. Say hi to the camera. Say hi, Zdrasti, hi. So he just had cake, and yeah, he was very curious to find out what's happening in the room. Yeah, so I just decided that it would be good to... Come on, don't be shy. He's too shy, sorry about that. Anyways, let's jump straight into the list. Now, this is the veteran finest tier list. Let me guide you through it. They have those different tiers. SSS, which is beyond God tier, solid God tier, God tier, high demigod, low, useful tier, occasional useful tier, and mean tier. And they have this legend for the different icons. For example, a cheese god is taking something in the game that you feel is not balanced or can take advantage of easily to win the game. So cheese god is like overpowered characters. For example, this thing it needs combo skills to ramp up, high player skill required, and so on and so forth. Now, I will be reviewing each and every one of those, and I have my copy here, and I'll be ranking them like this. Green means I agree. Let's say yellow means I mildly agree. Okay. When it comes to, let's say orange, I mean mildly disagree. Or let's say slightly disagree. And if it is red, that means I disagree. It will be pretty cool to see how I will rank when it comes to this particular list. And once again, in order to achieve that, he used the opinions of about 130 veteran players. So it should be pretty cool. Okay. Now, let's start with the first thing, which is MK11 Scorpion. Basically, a large benefit from synergies. I kind of agree. A large benefit from passive. Yeah, but yeah, actually he benefits from his passive because the best thing about MK11 Scorpion is that he relies on his basic hits, and his passive amplifies this, so that's pretty cool. So when it comes to MK11 Scorpion, I would say I 100% agree that should be beyond God tier SS, one of the best characters in the game. Ravenous Melina, I have pretty interesting opinion on Ravenous Melina because she was my very first maxed out diamond when she was Fusion 7, and I really loved her back then. She was my main diamond, but something happened to her. They destroyed her special 2 in the sense that it's no longer unblockable. The second part of it, I raised 3 tickets and they didn't fix it. Probably they decided that she's overpowered and she requires nerf. At the same time, MK11 Scorpion has been overpowered for 2-3 years. No nerfs there. Like, no, she doesn't require nerfs. She was good as she was. Now, the problem with her is that if her stun gets resisted, she's in a lot of trouble. This is the reason why she required this unblockable special 2. Anyways, I don't think that Ravenous Melina should be beyond tier. I think she belongs here, the solid God tier. So I would say that I slightly disagree here. Because, you know, it says that she benefits from passive, which is true. And what is the style? Large benefit of special attacks. I agree with that, but I disagree that she's one of the very best characters in the game. Yeah, she's outside of my top 5, sadly, because she used to be my favorite diamond in the game. Classic Liu Kang, I'm not going to discuss Classic Liu Kang, he is absolutely agree here. Raiden Classic, should I actually discuss Raiden Classic? Let's see what they say about him. Large benefit from passive, true, and do they mean that high skill required for Raiden? Really? High skill for Classic Raiden? I don't know. I don't think that he requires high skill, but anyways, Classic Raiden, in my eyes, from my account, maxed out almost every single character. He's the best character in the game. His only drawback is that he's not as good as some other characters against bosses. He can work against bosses, but not as good. Every single game mode apart from that, he's total boss. With Rain, he's absolutely unstoppable. And of course, once again for me, the absolute very best character for survival mode, not only because he's strong, but because he gives you bonuses every single season. Another thing that I have to mention as a drawback, he's not really that great at Fusion 0, so you need to have him Fusion 10 in order for him to work. Or let's say Fusion 7 or 8 high Fusion. Raiden, Injustice to Raiden. I would say that I slightly disagree here. Injustice to Raiden is a great character, but he suffers from one common illness, and this illness is that he cannot be easily supported. There are a few characters that can support this guy. Even though he's a one-man army, but Classic Raiden has the edge because he can be supported easily and he gives you bonuses in survival mode every single time. While Injustice Raiden gives you bonuses once per month or once per 2 weeks or something like this, and he can be very, very difficult to support. So I would say I mildly, or let's say, okay, let's do like this. I mildly disagree. I consider them as great, but I will still disagree. So I will mildly agree. I agree with something, I disagree with something. So the agreement prevails here, guys. Let's see what they say about Injustice Raiden. He has the skull, which is large benefit from talent tree. Yeah, that's correct. Large benefit for special attack. Okay, and for passive. Yeah, sure. Johnny Cage Strike Force, I would say that I agree here. Johnny Cage Strike Force is an amazing character. Even outside of Strike Force team, if you manage to support him properly, he's going to be amazing. And he's great for survival mode. Sub-Zero Cold War. Okay, I disagree. I don't understand why Sub-Zero Cold War should be beyond God tier. I mean, come on. He's okay. I never actually personally believed him to be anything more than, let's say, out of 7.5 or let's say 8 out of 10. But he's definitely not 10 out of 10. For one thing, he really is good in the Cold War team. Outside of a Cold War team, he's just okay, nothing special. And once again, when it comes to my personal perception of who is the best character in the game, for me, best character in the game isn't necessarily the strongest character in the game. For me, being best character has a lot of factors to decide. How good the character is Fusion Zero, how great he is in survival mode, how good is he in towers, how good is he against bosses, how easy the character is to be obtained, how versatile the character is, how many other, characters can support him, how this character can support others, and so on and so forth. And of course, how strong the character is. But how strong the character is only one of the factors. So Cold War Sub-Zero, I'll put him here in the God tier. This is where I believe he should be. But anyways, Reptile Classic, again, I slightly disagree. I will put him probably here, like the solid GOAT tier. He's easy to obtain, but I don't know. I cannot explain why I don't think he's one of the best, because he isn't in the league of Scorpion, MK11, Liu Kang Classic, Raiden Classic. He's simply not in that league. He's a very good character, but simply not good enough. That's the best way I can describe it. Jade MK11, I would say that I mildly agree. Again, I will put Jade MK11 in the solid God tier. Actually, Reptile, I'm sorry, I will put him here in the God tier. So he's an orange, but Jade is MK11 and she is yellow, which means I mildly agree. I think that she's amazing, but she simply has low stats. And yeah, she relies on luck if you play with her. Though she can be extremely useful with Fusion Zero as a support, still I don't think she's as good as Scorpion, MK11, Liu Kang Classic, Raiden Classic, and so on and so forth. Kung Lao Circle of Shadows, I disagree here. He's great, but I will put him again in God tier A. He's just, again, reason being, not as good compared to MK11, Scorpion, Liu Kang, Raiden, and Johnny Cage. Even though Johnny Cage, I have to reconsider. He has to be here. So I'll mildly agree. Scorpion Cold War, absolutely disagree here. I have no clue why he's a top tier beyond God. I wouldn't think that he's that great. Again, he will be either here or somewhere in between, but definitely not one of the very best characters in the game. Scorpion Strike Force, agree. Nothing to disagree here. So let's review the first tier. I agreed with about 30%, 100% agree on Scorpion MK11, Liu Kang Classic, Raiden Classic, and Scorpion Strike Force. I kind of agree with another 4 picks, Melina Ravenous, Injustice to Raiden, Johnny Cage, and Jade MK11. I kind of disagree with Classic Reptile. I will be hesitant whether to put him S or A, and I disagree with Sub-Zero Cold War, Scorpion Cold War, and Circle of Shadow Kung Lao. I believe they should be A. Let's go to the second tier, which is solid GOAT tier S. We have Elder God Liu Kang. I believe they mean Fire God Liu Kang, and I would say I agree with that pick. Yeah. Let's say that I agree. He's pretty good with correct equipment. MK11 Raiden, after I saw what he can do against bosses with the MK11 Raiden setup, I would say that I agree. I still think, no, actually I mildly agree, I'll put him here, or somewhere in between. MK11 Noob Saibot, definitely agree, amazing character, a little bit dependent on items, but in general, useful Fusion Zero, amazingly useful in survival mode, great character. So we have Kabal MK11, I disagree, I would put Kabal MK11 in here or here. Reason being his passive, actually I'll put him here. Reason being his passive, you can use only the first part of it. In general, nobody wants to die in survival mode, so only the muted stun is left. And it's good, but not good enough. When it comes to the playstyle, he's straight ahead an assassin, he just tags in, executes people and tag out. So a useful character, but definitely his place isn't here, in my opinion of course. Sub-Zero MK11, I agree, definitely. Pretty good character. Assassin and support at the same time, very useful Fusion Zero. Overall, amazing. Really good. So, for the second tier, I agree definitely with 3 characters, Liu Kang, Noob Saibot and Sub-Zero, and I disagree with Kabal. I kind of agree with MK11 Raiden. I mean, it is just me, I just don't like MK11 Raiden. His playstyle, his lack of combo enders, I know he technically has 2, but actually he has 1, right? The second one is... Anyways, now let's go guys to God tier A. Circle of Shadow Liu Kang. I think I will agree here. Problem with Circle of Shadow Liu Kang, that his passive doesn't fully work outside of Faction Wars. That's a little bit unfortunate. Circle of Shadow Quan Chi, I agree, he's an A. Freddy Krueger, I mildly agree. Freddy Krueger is item dependent, and it requires a lot of skill, in my opinion, in order to make him work. Let me see what do they decide to put him. Large benefit from passive, okay, and what's the other thing? High player skill. Okay, we agree here. Yeah, he requires skill in order to be effective. So if you have just started the game, just pull Freddy Krueger, not the best pull for you guys. So I will put him here because of that. The Vora Wretch, I disagree, slightly disagree. I don't think that Reg Devora is at the same level with Circle of Shadow Liu Kang and Circle of Shadow Quan Chi. Not in 1,000 years. So she should be probably here. Classic Rain, oh, I disagree here. Slightly disagree. I think Classic Rain, guys, should be in the Salt Gold tier. He's amazing. Every single classic character starts with 1 bar of power, and he can team soak pretty easy. And he has special to which is unblockable and snares the enemy. Not only soaks it, but snares it. Really good character. In my opinion, he should be S. And the only reason why I don't place him here is because I realize I don't have a lot of experience with him, so I cannot say for sure, okay, this guy should be S. So I'm going to be a little bit, let's say, safe. On the safe side, I'll put him here in the S tier. So, that's my opinion on him. Hellspawn Scorpion, I would say that I mildly agree, because I would use Hellspawn Scorpion anywhere between S and A. He's a great character, extremely good with martial artists, and you know that martial artists are probably the best characters in the game. Just look at this. We have Scorpion martial artists, we have Liu Kang martial artists, Raiden martial artists, and we have Strikeforce Scorpion, guess who? Martial artists. So, like, the best characters in the game are martial artists, so Hellspawn Scorpion is really, really great. Dead Red Jade, again, I mildly agree, because I am kind of hesitant whether she belongs to A or S, so I'll put like this. Nightmare Jason Voorhees, again, mildly agree. He's okay, but he relies on chance. I mean, every single character that heavily relies on chance, I just don't like, because you cannot build your strategy. I mean, you can tell that he has high chance to evade, but it's not high enough, you know, to build a strategy, because what happens if you don't evade? You're going to get wrecked. Shang Tsung MK11, I cannot comment on Shang Tsung, I don't have him, so I would say that I agree. If I don't have anything, I'll say that I agree. Circle of Shadow Sub-Zero, yeah, I agree. Amazing damage in Circle of Shadow team, just brutal. And I think that Cold War Sub-Zero also belongs here. I don't understand why Cold War Sub-Zero is... Let's see what they said about him. He has the star, which means large benefit for special attacks. Okay, sure, and he has the two things, large benefit for synergies. Yeah, exactly. They are right. Erin Black, they have that. I say that I agree here. And there is no icon for him, poor guy. Scarlet Cold War. She is large benefit from passive. Yeah, I would say I agree, because I don't have tons of experience with Cold War Scarlet. Black Dragon Cabal, I agree. And they say that he needs combo skills to ramp up. Does he? What's in his passive that gets increased after he kills somebody? Oh, probably because he needs somebody from his team to get killed. Oh, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, okay. Still, let's say that, yeah, he's like this. He's an A, exactly an A, because his passive also got butchered, and I kind of prefer him to MK11 Cabal. Ronin Kenshi, I would say that I mildly agree. Ronin Kenshi is kind of risky character, and outside of Ronin team, he's just okay, but not really the greatest, let's go this way. So he's between A and B, that's why I put mildly agree. So if we review God tier A, I will definitely agree with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. I will mildly agree with 5, and I will disagree with 2. That's pretty cool. Now, high demigod tier. Goro Classic, definitely agree. He's a B. Very solid character, pretty fast tag out, unblockable special one that deals pretty good damage. Extremely versatile passive. Perfect. MK11 Rain. I don't know, probably I would say mildly disagree. Because he can be here, he can be here. I don't have huge experience, but he is like classic Rain. The only problem I have with him is that he doesn't have Snare, and that's really important, by the way. Snare is a really important debuff, and this guy doesn't have it. If you have to compare it to classic Rain, but once again, I don't have huge experience. Assassin Jade agree, she's a B. I think that also Jason belongs here. Conqueror Shao Kahn, I think that I would put him as an A. Extremely useful character in survival mode. In general, if you build him properly, you can destroy an enemy team with 3 special tools. This is how strong he is. Drawbacks, bad basic attacks, but if you have given him the correct equipment, you don't have to punch the enemies, they can just die. Simple as that. Errin Black, Black Dragon. I mildly disagree here, because I think that he belongs to tier A. For the simple reason, this character is amazing for survival mode. He will give you bonuses every single season, and that's really important. Assassin Scarlet. I would say that I agree. She's pretty good, the best Scarlet in my opinion. Once again, I don't have huge experience with Cold War, but out of, let's say, Scarlet MK11 and Scarlet Assassin, definitely I'll go for Assassin. Black Dragon Kano, I would slightly disagree. I think he belongs here. Kitana Day of the Dead. Wait a second. Kitana Day of the Dead that low? Why? I disagree here. Kitana Day of the Dead should be much higher. She's pretty cool. I'll put her as an S or as an A, definitely not a B. Because, I mean, her passive is great, right? Cold War Sonya Blade. Slightly disagree, I think she goes here. Her passive is useful in the first seconds of the match. Now, only in survival mode, and she's not the greatest fighter in the world. She can work with his gear, like Tower Epics, but like any single character can work with extremely good Tower Epics. Without them, she's just okay, nothing special, and I'm sad to say it, but she was my very first gold character that I maxed with souls, and I played her in every single team, and after day 2.0 they destroyed her passive, and that really bothers me. Terminator Dark Fate, oh, definitely not a B, he's definitely an A, so I will slightly disagree here. Terminator Guardian, again, I will slightly disagree here. Pretty good characters, both of them. Like, I would put Dark Fate even further, but currently their tag-ins are destroyed, so I hope they're going to fix it. Let's see what they have about them. Large benefit from passive. Yeah, sure. Circle of Shadow Jax Bricks. Oh, definitely disagree here. I think this guy should be probably here. And D. Definitely not a B. And Assassin Kitana, again, absolutely disagree. Sorry guys. I disagree with this. She should be E. Like, Kitana Assassin is a horrible character. Like, horrible. Sorry. Now, and you can see that on tier B, I agree with only 3 characters, and I slightly agree with other 2. Everything else, I disagree. So, things are getting really interesting now. We are getting to low demigod tier C, and we have Cassie Cage Strike Force. I would put her as a B, so I would say I slightly disagree. Extremely good in certain teams, not only Strike Force. In teams, for example, we put her in a team with Smoke Triborg, and it will be awesome. Classic Jax Bricks, oh, definitely disagree. I will put Classic Jax Bricks at B, and I'll remove Circle Shadow Jax Bricks from there. Ronin Takeda, I slightly disagree. Ronin Takeda, in my opinion, And you know, the difference between definitely disagreeing and slightly disagreeing is that when I slightly disagree, I might put this character also in this position, but I'd rather put him as a D, for example. When it's in red, this means basically I will never put him in this tier. This is the main difference. And Ronin Kitana disagree, definitely. She doesn't belong to C. She is a B or an A. After what I saw what she can do with talent setups, I would put also for Ronin Kitana a large benefit from TT setup. So, TT? Did I say that? TT? Setup. Okay, so I'm going to put right there. Okay. Edited, guys. I think that she definitely deserves that. With the specific talent, she is a god. We have Scarlet MK11 as an F. I slightly disagree. I think that she's not that horrible. She deserves to be a C. Sorry, she's a D, not an F. So, yeah, she deserves to be a C. She has a lot of health, even though her passive is almost useless. I know there are people who say, but you can heal. It doesn't matter. If I play MK11 Scorpion, I don't require her heal. If I want to heal, I'll get Chansung, or if I want to heal, I'll get Jade in my team. Like, you have to do, you guys, you have to understand that you have to do 10 million bazillion things in order to have chance to heal. And when I say chance, I mean, first thing, you have to kill a character using Scarlet. And what if your Scarlet is Fusion 2, for example, and the other MK11 character is Fusion 7 or 8? That's extremely risky. You can get killed for that. You can tag her in, and you can get killed, right? But even if you agree, let's say that she's maxed out. You kill a guy using Scarlet, first thing first. So we have to pretend that Reverends don't exist, everything. And one you say, but this is the point of the game. No, the point of the game is not to kill a character with specific other character, the point of the game is just to kill characters, right? So if a passive was like this, every single character gets this if he kills other character. That would be pretty cool, because you can just equip MK11 Scorpion, kill some other guy, and then heal, right? Or any other character, doesn't matter, but you have to kill this guy using her. And she's not the greatest fighter in the world. I don't understand why people refuse to accept that. In MK11 team, you have much better fighters. You have MK11 Jade, you have MK11 Scorpion, you have even Raiden is better fighter than Scarlet. So you have to kill a guy using Scarlet. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying that in a lot of cases you don't have to do that, right? Then it's getting better. First you have to kill Scarlet. Then you have to tag her out. You have to tag somebody else. And this guy should apply Combo Ender or another character. And this Combo Ender should apply Bleed. However, what happens if the enemy resists the Bleed? You have to do another Combo Ender. And what happens if you have already power? What you have to do? You just do Combo Enders until the other guy starts bleeding, and then, only then, you can take advantage of this vampirism. It simply not work. Now, if you like playing with Scarlet, I honestly don't mind, but this is the main reason, and I have repeated this for 10 million times, this is the main reason why I consider her as a low tier character, because her passive is underwhelming. You don't have to do 10 million things in order to heal. Plus, in survival mode, you can heal in so many other ways. You don't have to do this extremely convoluted and difficult thing. Like, nobody needs that. So, yeah, I had my rant about MK11 Scarlet. Another thing, Tremor Black Dragon. I think he also slightly disagrees. He also might belong in a C. But I'm glad to see that a lot of people see that, not just me, that Black Dragon Tremor sucks, right? Like, honestly, I know that you can defeat Eldertal using him. I have done it myself. And when I say using him, I mean just put him in the team, give him his item, resist all the debuffs, and then tag him out for good, right? This is how you use him. No, I just don't like this character, guys. Everything about him is wrongly designed. He's supposed to be great character, entertaining character that can benefit through situation, but he's not. I mean, he has to do this annoying thing that he has to change stances by doing special attacks. And if you want to destroy teams by doing special 2s, you have to first do special 1, then you have to do special 2, that will damage the enemy team. And if you want to repeat that, you have to do another special 1 in order to do another special 2. And it's like, what the hell, who needs that? It's getting too complicated to do something that doesn't really pay off big. So yeah, Black Dragon Tremor, he's just okay, nothing special, but in general, considering how difficult he is to obtain to something, I really think that he isn't that great, and I wouldn't bother getting him at all. And the thing about him, starting with 100% resistance to the buffs, I can literally do the same with so many characters, 100% resistance to the buffs. Let me tell you how. Let's take, for example, Cassie Cage. I get her armor, I get Earth Elemental Face Mask, that's 80% resistance to the buffs, and I get the talent that gives 20% resistance to the buffs, and this means I have 100% resistance to the buffs using Cassie Cage. There you go, I can achieve the same. Even with his 100% resistance to the buffs thing, he isn't unique, you know? I can achieve that with Jason Voorhees. I can achieve almost that with almost any character, but let's say instead of 100 I'll have like 80 or something. And that's pretty good, I would say. And I would say 80 resistance to all debuffs, and I'll say 100% resistance to stun, which is the most important thing in a lot of cases. So this is the main reason why I think Black Dragon Tremor sucks. Honestly, he sucks. Occasionally useful tier, Kitana Circle of Shadow. I think that this is not correct. I will say disagree, because I think Circle of Shadow Kitana belongs C or a B. And I will put Assassin Kitana there. Circle of Shadow Kitana, a useful passive that can be used in survival mode. Pretty good. In Circle of Shadow team, she doesn't really add a lot of value because she makes your team immune to fear, which is ridiculous. But in general, she can do a lot of juicy damage, so she's kind of okay. And her passive, once again, pretty useful in survival mode. And I'm going to talk about it. You see, we are getting progressively low in terms of ranking, and I'm starting to talk more and more and more, because a lot of guys just keep on, you know, trying to convince me that MK11 Scarlet, Black Dragon Tremor are amazing characters. Like, once again, I'm not on a crusade against them. If you like those characters, feel free to use them. I'm not telling you not to use them, I'm just telling you that in my opinion they suck, and I give you the reasoning why I think they suck. It doesn't bother me if somebody's using them, right? That's fine. When it comes to Leatherface, again, I think that he sucks, and I completely agree that he's the worst diamond in the game. There you go. And the reason why I explained in the previous video, he has almost no synergy even with the Nightmare team, like close to zero synergy, extremely slow, both of his special attacks can be blocked, his passive works literally in troll teams. I don't think of any real serious team where you would like to use Leatherface. If you don't have maxed out 5 or 10 epic pieces of towers. If you have this, there you go, you can use Leatherface and have fun. But in general, not really that great. In a lot of places his passive will trigger Revenant. Not really that great. Also, what can I say about... Oh yeah, extremely difficult to get. He's literally available once per year. Imagine you have just started the game and you have collected 30,000 souls and you see the Leatherface pack and you're like, I'm going to spend all my souls there. And what happens? Disaster happens, because you get one of the worst, if not the worst diamond in the game, and you spend so much souls because you thought that this guy should be good, right? He's available once per month, he's rare, therefore he should be good. So this is the reason, guys, this is the reason why Leatherface sucks. What else should I tell about him? Did they say that his basic attacks are bad? He can be interrupted in the middle of his basic attacks, he has terrible recovery speed. Yeah, not really that great, I'm sorry. He does a lot of damage. Is this like... Okay, I heard the argument he does a lot of damage, therefore he's good. Imagine that you have a character that it's written on his special attacks, he deals 1 billion damage. But once you tag him in, it takes like 30 seconds for him to react and do something. Is this character good only because it's written on his card that he deals 1 billion damage? No, because you can never take advantage of it. It's something similar with Leatherface. Now the only time when it is good to have to deal a lot of damage, and when I say that I mean 90% of the cases the characters will have between 200 and 300k damage, health. So everything above 300k doing on any special attack is a waste. You don't need that. The only place when you need it is against bosses, but Leatherface is horrible against bosses. Literally nobody uses this guy against bosses. I want to be proven wrong, just record me an amazing gameplay with Leatherface against bosses. I will really appreciate that. I will truly appreciate that, so please guys, it is on you. Record and send me a video with you playing Leatherface against bosses. I want to see that. I want to see, and by the way, it should be a successful fight, right? You have to send a message that this guy is good against bosses. He simply isn't. So, yeah, he requires a lot of skill, true. He has to be, if you haven't played the game for a while, this character is going to be a total trash for you. So, yes, so basically this is it, guys. I agreed with something, I disagreed with something. This is pretty regular thing, pretty normal. The Veterans Finest is a pretty good tier list. I will enjoy seeing how it moves by the end of the year after the eventual update that we're going to get in October. And please stay tuned for the second part when I will be reviewing the Gold tier list. See you in a while, guys. Goodbye.